So the thing we are talking about, this is what that is civil sense, and it will what it will do, it will abort the transmission. But after aborting the transmission, it is not completed. It will do what? Station C will, after aborting the transmission, that it will again wait for a what? It will again wait for some time. It will wait for some time using any of the persistence method. In case it is using one persistence method, so it will immediately sense the channel again. But if it is using the non-persistence method, then in the non-persistence method, it will wait for a random amount of time. After waiting the random amount of time, it will sense the transmission channel. But if it is using the P persistence method, then it will do what? It will use the probability outcome, and if the probability outcome is less than equal to P, then sends the frame again. But if it is probability is greater than 1, then it will do what? It will wait for the time slot, and after waiting the time slot, it again sends the transmission channel. But if in this time it receives that it is busy, then the transmissions will be what? The C station, that the particular frame the C station is sending, will be discarded. Directly discard that frame. But if it is ideal, then directly it will sense that. So this is the collision of the first bit in the CSMA CD model. Now, this is the flow diagram of the CSMA CD. This is the flow diagram of the CSMA CD. That means the working is totally described by this flow diagram. So that means what? It will be first, that is what we use the start. So that means this will be started. Then K equal to 0. We have written that K equal to 0. K is what? K is the number of attempts made by the station to transmit the frame. Now a frame is sending, so collision is happening. It sends that the collision is happening. So if the collision is happening, then it directly abort that frame. So that means after waiting for some time, it will again sense the channel, and it will again same frame it will send. So here this K is what? The number of attempts. So how many times it attempts to send the frame. This is what defines by the K. K is what? The number of attempts made by the station to transmit the frame. Now, after that, what it will do? Apply one of the persistence method, what we have used or said, that any of the persistence method will be used by the station. One persistent, non-persistence, or P persistence. Any of the persistence method, it will use that. After using this persistence method, what this will check? This will check that transmission is done or the collision is detected. Means what? This persistence method check what? If we call that persistence method is present, this persistence method basically do what? It is check that the channel is busy or ideal. That means the transmission should go on or not. Means eligible for transmission. Eligibility for the transmission is checked by this persistence method. So what will happen? Either the transmission will be done or the collision will be detected. This is the two condition. This is the two condition happens, that either the transmissions will go on or the collisions will be detected. These are the two conditions. So if there is no collision or collision detection, that means the transmission is done. That the transmission is done. Then there is no collision detected. Then it will do what? It will transmit and receive, because no collision is detecting. No collision is here. So that means what? these frames will be transmitted and the receiver will be received. The same process will goes on because no collision is occurring. But if the collision is detected, you can see that's why it is why we are used that if the collision, no collision is detected, then transmit and receive. So first frame is received by the receiver, then again this process will continues, collision detect for second frame, then for second frame it will check that there is some collision detected, no collision is not detected, then transmit and receive to the receiver. After that it will again goes on, checks that now the third frame can be sent. If the third frame before sending it will send the transmission channel, okay, so there is no collision is going on, so send the third frame to the receiver, receiver receives the third frame. So this process will be goes on. If the transmission is correctly done, no collision is detected. But what happens when collision is detected? When the collision is detected, then it will do what? That it is collision detected. There is collision detected. So that means what? It will wait for a amount of time. And after amount of time, it will sense the transmission. It will sense the transmission channel. So in that time, what? There is no collision, then it will do what? It will sense the transmission will go on. That means what? That means there is success because there is no collision. In this time, there is no collision detected. In this time, so after waiting for some time, then again sends the medium, transmission medium. So that time is what? Success is detected because this time the collision is not detected here. But if the collision is detected again the collision is detected, then what will happen? Then, like if the collision is detected here, like we are saying, if we see the example, the collision is detected here, then what it will do, like this station will send a jamming signal. This signal stations, this station will do what? This station will, because here it is sending that, and C will sense that a signal is going on. That means C senses collision. So after the collision is detected, again C will do what? C will send a jamming signal. C will send the jamming signal to all the nodes, or we can say all the stations. To all the stations it will send towards all the station a jamming signal. Now what is the purpose of this jamming signal? This jamming signal says, this jamming signal carries the information. So through this jamming signal it will to give the information to all the station that there is a collision is detected. So now before sending the frame, check the transmission channel before sending the frame, because there is a collision is detected. So before transmitting, sends the frame, obviously. That's why this jamming signal will sends by the which station detected that collision. Which station detected the collision, it will do what? It will send a jamming signal to all of the stations presented in the this are connected to this transmission channel. All of the stations, towards all of the station, this jamming signal will be sent. So after the jamming signal will send, so that means the collision is detected. So what we will do, our first time, it is k equal to 0 because it is the first time we are attempting that. But when the jamming signal is sent, so that means collision is detected. So every station will do what? Every station will send the frame into the next time. So that means what? First time, the first attempt is 0. So one attempt will be increased here. So that means k equal to k plus 1. So next attempt, in the next attempt, this time they will see the transmission, the stations will observe. So if k is greater than k max, now if the value, the number of atoms, if the number of atoms reached maximum, there is some maximum, it is not fixed, but we saying that any maximum value is crossed, any maximum is crossed, then what, the stations will abort the transmission. That means we are saying that if sending the transmission, uh, number of times we can say that station A trying 5 times to send the frame 1, but it didn't able to consider that frames this time, it didn't able to place it, because every time there is some collision is occurring. So after that, waiting for the 5, this after trying for 5 times, we are saying that 5 times is maximum, so it will what, it will abort the transmission. So this k max value is the number of maximum number of attempts but done by any station. So this what, this maximum number of transmitting, this maximum number of transmission or number of our attempts, it will be done, it will be, it is not defined here, it will be determined by the stations only, that how many times it will try, how many times it will try to sense the frame, it is up to them, the stations will fix that. So here, if the k value of the number of attempts which we have made for, or the stations number of attempts, if it is reached by the maximum, then that frames are, we are discarded that frame. But if it is not reached by the maximum, if maximum, then what will happen, if it is not reached by maximum, then random number r to 0 to 2 to the power k minus 1 and wait for tb time, wait for, because there is collision is occurring, so that means what, it have to wait for a time. So what wait for a time is, it will wait for tb time, so tb equal to r into tp, so tb time is equal to r into tp. T is the propagation time, what we have seen in the case of first, that this tp is what, this tp is basically that, this tp, this tp is basically the propagation time. We say this tp is the propagation time, means reaching the frame, for reaching this frame, the transmission time from propagate from one end to another, this is the, we call the tp time or the propagation time. So it will be what, tb equal to r into tp. R is what, the random number, the random number which it is chosen from 0 to 2 to the power k minus 1. Between that, a random number will be chosen and wait for tb time. So that means what time the stations will wait, this time the stations will wait tb time. So tb time is what, the random number that is chosen into the propagation time. So if this process, it will again goes on. So this is the flow diagram of the CSMA CD. Okay. Anyone has any question? You can ask. Afrin, then Dolly, Nishu, Pallavi, Sheetal.
No, 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 sir, no question.
Okay. So I think it is clear to everyone that what process goes on for the CSMA. Ujjwal?
Yes, sir, clear है.
Oh. So this is the process of the CSMA CD. So then I will not start the new topic today. There is also CSMA CDs and another also. There is we will start again next in the next class. Today I will not continue that. So please give your attendance here by scanning this QR code. Give the attendance. Now, if we'll basically see, I didn't. If we basically see that there is total 2 modules is about to complete. If we consider that the 2 modules are basically completed, only some CDMA CA are there is yeah. So if this will be used, then all 2 modules are covered. Means our what? Our physical layer and data link layer. Because all these functions are of the data link layer concept. So in next class, we will see the CDMA CA. And after this CDMA CA, if we complete the CDMA CA, hello.
So I just show the QR code. Hello.
Hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
So
It is
am I audible? It is showing self-marking is
थोड़ा वॉइस तो मतलब
सर QR कोड एक्सपायर हो चुका है.
एक्सपायर हो चुका है. ठीक है हम उसको दे देते हैं. हाँ ठीक है, हम समझ गए हैं, समझ गए तुम. ठीक है आफरीन, हम समझ गए हैं. तुम्हारा वॉइस इतना ये हो रहा है ना, हम समझ चुके हैं. ठीक है. ओ इसीलिए शायद प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है. आज थोड़ा ये होगा.
10:25 तक ही था सर.
ठीक है, हम इंक्रीज कर देंगे, कोई इशू नहीं है इसमें. हम 5 मिनट्स कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, इसके अंदर दे दो. Now check, you can able to give that. अभी देखो, अभी हो जाएगा. अभी हो रहा है तो
यस सर.
ठीक है. हो जाने के बाद बोलना सबका, और देख लेना सभी नोट्स तो अपलोडेड है. और तुम लोगों का इंटरनल का भी तो मैसेज चला आया ग्रुप में, हम देखे कि इंफॉर्मेशन आ चुका है, देखना इंटरनल का इंफॉर्मेशन। तो 20 शायद 21 या 20 ऐसे देख रहे थे, उस टाइम से इंटरनल होगा। तो जितना हम पढ़ाएंगे वही इंटरनल में रहेगा। तो हो गया सबका स्कैन?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then, I am ending the session. So thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.